Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Autumn 2024 forecast from GavsWeatherVids. So here we go, exciting day, exciting times. We're going to be bringing you another long-range forecast, this one for Autumn 2024. I've been doing autumn updates ever since the middle of June. Started a bit late due to me having to go into hospital at the end of May and in the start of June with my fractured ankle. But we got onto your autumn updates in the end. We've been doing them weekly since I got out of hospital in the middle of June, and so here we go. We're going to be bringing you our autumn forecast. So we've done 9 autumn updates, 3 season one round. It's all been building up to this, and I should get on with the autumn forecast for you in a moment. Just to say that first, a video release airs our 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. You'll be live at 6 p.m. with your 10 to 14 day and some long range as well. And of course, if you've got any questions about the autumn forecast, let me know what you think on the live stream, and that'd be absolutely awesome. I'll see you a little bit later on. Well, thank you so much, Richard, for our very seasonal and also very funny autumn 2024 updates. Who is that in the red hat? That's not Gav, is it? I don't think that's me. But who is that? I wonder, who's that woman flopping her hair about all over the place? I don't know. Very funny, Rich. Very entertaining. Thank you so much. When I saw that, I burst out laughing. Thank you so much, Rich, for our gift and thumbnail. And also make sure it was Cheyenne as well. We got a little table from Cheyenne, and also thank you so much to Terry. You'll have a look at Terry's spreadsheet in a moment. Terry's been compiling a spreadsheet throughout the season updates. As always, so we can see what the leading analog years are. So hashtag Team Gav, been working on the autumn updates throughout the season and also working on the autumn forecast as well. Thank you so much to Terry, to Richard, and also to Shryan as well. Thank you so much to hashtag Team Gav. Alright, well, should we do this? Let's have a look then, shall we? So first thing I'm going to start off with, of course, as always, is Spreadsheet. So Terry Scully, our good friend Tel, has been subscribing, has been compiling this. So it's going to be one of those, I think, this video. No, Terry's been compiling this throughout the season. It's got everything that I've been looking at throughout the season of updates include. So top 10 wet Septembers, for example. We've got top 10, no, what is that? No, top 10 summers, that would be, I think. We've also got May, England and Wales rainfall. What is that? Top 10 wet, top 10 warm, SPRS. I forgot what the first thing was. That we looked at in our season of updates. Never mind. Anyway. Oh, springs! That's going to be spring, isn't it? Of course, yes. Top 10 warmest, top 10 wettest springs. Yes, that's right. It's the first thing we looked at, wasn't it? All those weeks ago. That's Gav's magic water-addled brain for you. Yeah, so that's top 10 wettest springs and top 10 warmest springs as well. Sorry, Terry. We've also got May, England, Wales rainfall. Let's have a look at another one. June CT there. We've got sunspot cycles just here. We've got maturing Western QBO autumns just there. And we've got weak La Nina. Remember when we did our ENSO special a couple of weeks ago? Weak La Nina. Neutral La Nina, July, England, Wales data just here, June, England, Wales data there, and of course, the last thing we looked at in the last update last week was August CTs in the 17th. So everything we looked at through the season is included on the spreadsheet. And we've got all of our years here, all the way from 1950 right way down to the final year, which of course is going to be 2023. And a number of hits included are indicated by the X's in the boxes just here. So, for example, 1951 has 4 hits. Not too bad a hit rate for 1951, but not good enough to be included within our season of updates. Meanwhile, 1950, though, only has 1 hit. That's only only included one time. And some years didn't have any hits. Some years, you know, didn't have a single hit at all. So we didn't see 1960 showing up in this season of autumn updates. That showed up 0 times. And 1962, before the daddy of Carl Wintz, I can tell you that showed up only twice. So it's not included, not good enough to be included within our autumn forecast. We've got 1963, which was, again, didn't show up at all. That showed up no times whatsoever. And a few other years. So we had 1985. That one turned up twice. Again, not good enough to be included within our season of updates. If we come on down here, we can see that at 1998, that turned up 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. So pretty decent hit rate for autumn 1998, but again, not good enough to be included in our season of updates. And what about just down here, the last year, 2023? Well, that only showed up twice, had 2 hits, and 2022 that only showed up 3 times. So again, they are not included, nor is 2021. That's not included either. So what are the years that are included in our season of updates? Which are the years which showed up the most? Well, here we go. These are the leading analog years for our methodology. Thank you so much for Tony for Spreadsheet. Thanks so much to Shrine here for the table. So with 5 hits, we've got autumn 2015. With 5 hits again, we've got autumn 2002. With 5 hits, we've got autumn 1979. And with 5 hits, we've got autumn 1958. Our leading analog year is actually 1992, coming in on top with 6 hits. I thought 1959 had showed up quite a lot, but actually, let's just quickly go back to that, because I can tell you that 1959 showed up here with 3 hits, so isn't included and didn't show up that much. So it just goes to show I'm the one doing the updates, so it just goes to show what I know, doesn't it? So anyway, yes, so the leading years are going to be for the forecast 1958, 1979, 2002, 2015, and the leading year overall, 6 hits, is 1992. Thank you so much to Terry for the spreadsheet. Thank you so much to Shrine for the table. Right, let's have a look at that data then. So, autumn 1958 coming out with 5 hits, 5 or more. This one has high pressure over northern Europe and brings the wind in from the west. Has a wet September and then turns progressively drier as the autumn goes on. With 5 hits again, we've got 1979. This is a relatively mild Atlantic-driven autumn. Plenty of low pressure in the North Atlantic, high pressure around the Azores, bringing in the wind from west to southwest direction. That's just like an average sort of Atlantic-driven type autumn. We've got 2002 with 5 or more. This one has higher pressure blocking up to the north and lower pressure is down to the south. This has a warm, dry September, a very wet October, and then about average really for November for temperature, but is also very wet in November of 2002. So that's quite a wet autumn after dry start. And then with 5 or more again, we've got 2015, low pressure out in the North Atlantic, high pressure across the north and west of Europe. This has a cooler interval in September. It has a rather cooler September. Last time I have a sub 13 CT September, I think is in 2015, and has a very wet and also exceptionally mild November 2015. October's sort of transitional. And then our leading analog year, of course, is 1992. Now, this is a very unsettled autumn with plenty of low pressure in the North Atlantic. Has quite a wet September, has an unsettled and very mild November. In between, though, has a cold October, which you probably don't get from the analog, but it does actually have really quite a cold spell in October of 1992, especially the second half of the month with some really harsh sort of early season frost. So this is how everything looks when you put it all together. All Septembers combined for all of those years scoring 5 or more tending to have high pressure sitting over and to the north of the country. Lower pressure is out in the Atlantic. So this is probably kind of warmish signal for temperatures for the Septembers, bringing the wind up, you know, like from a southerly or southeasterly direction. The low pressure in the Atlantic, though, could be providing some wet weather. There are some wet Septembers included in that, 1992, 1958. On the other hand, we have 2002, which is a dry September. And as I say, 2015 was quite a coolish September. I think 79 was like average sort of September. So a real mixed bag there for the Septembers. Not sure that's a great deal of use, to be honest. Now, all October's combined does have a rather colder signal, potentially, with higher pressure away to the north and lower pressure tend to be to the south. But you could envisage this would bring in the wind from like an east or northeasterly direction quite a lot of the time. So we know 1992 was a cold October, but otherwise I think it's a mixed bag. Like 2002, that was quite wet in October, quite a wet October I think after the dry September, whereas 1958 would tend to dry out a little bit. Oh, it is quite a mixed signal there. And then all November's combined goes to like an Atlantic-driven mild signal with high pressure building down towards Spain and Portugal. That's Azores high, of course. Low pressure in the North Atlantic, and we're bringing in the wind from like a southwesterly direction a lot of the time with those Novembers. So a mild Atlantic-driven, probably quite unsettled signal for the Novembers. And as far as all autumns combined, with the years scoring 5 or more, all of the years basically, has high pressure signal to the north, low pressure out in the Atlantic. It's a mixed bag due to the fact that every month is varying there. All temperatures looking like that for these autumns. So actually quite a coolish signal for much of northern Europe, but for the UK and Ireland, just coming out average or probably with no signal. And for rainfall, well, maybe slightly on the drier side, if anything, especially so just to our southwest, with quite a bit of, you know, higher pressure influences. Now, if you just narrow things down to the one leading analogue year, which is 1992, this is how that autumn looked. So September was, as I say, an unsettled month in 1992, a wet September, low pressure over to West Country. Temperatures were about average. I think CT was like in the 13s, nothing particularly exceptional either way, but it was quite a wet September that we had then. This is how the temperature came out for September, so actually average slightly below based on the 91 to 2020 average, about average 61 to 1990, I think. And as I say, it was quite a wettish month as well, particularly just to the west and to the northwest. Now, it's October, very interesting, October 1992, with this mid-Atlantic ridge going up towards Greenland, and then the trough of low pressure across Europe, and that forces the wind into this north or northeasterly direction. You can see why it was quite a cold October, and check out the temperature anomaly for October 1992. It's been a long time since we've had a month with as much widespread cold as that, in terms of the anomaly to average anyway. Now, all parts of Europe really below average, except down towards Greece and Turkey, where it's a warmer October. But much of northern, central, and also West Europe had a cold October in 1992. And for precipitation, it was largely on the dry side, as cold months usually are. They tend to be drier because colder air holds less moisture, you know, than warmer air, and also the Atlantic is blocked off as well, so we're not getting the Atlantic driven westerly. So overall, it averaged to slightly drier than average for precipitation in that October. And then November reverted to like the Atlantic driven westerly pattern, complete flip around. Low pressure develops around Greenland, high pressure builds down towards Spain and the Azores. We bring the wind in from the southwest. We revert to a positive NEO type pattern, which does typify many of the 1990s winters. So the temperature anomaly is actually still a little bit cooler than average based on 91 to 2020 in the North Atlantic and Scotland, more than average to ourselves. So I didn't deviate too far from average, but obviously was a warm up compared to October. And as far as rainfall goes, well, more Atlantic driven month, so it was rather wetter as well. Notice drier down to Spain, Portugal, where that high pressure is centred over the Azores. As far as the autumn overall is concerned with 1992. Just a reminder of the 500 millibar high anomaly, low pressure across the north and the west of Europe. It was a rather cooler than average month, mainly down to October, or season I should say, mainly down to October. Being really quite a cold month and skewering the average of the other two probably. But overall, the autumn did come out a bit below average, and for precipitation, it wasn't too far from average, really, maybe slightly on the wetter side, and that's down to September. And November, October was drier. So that is how 1992 looked. Right, well, we've gone through all of the data there, and all that's left, really, is to reveal the forecast. So, I'll pause the video there, have a little think, I'm scratching my head slightly about all of that, but I think we've got a forecast that we can go at here. So, I'll pause the video, and when we return, I will deliver the GavsWeatherVids Autumn 2024 forecast. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back. It's time to reveal the GavsWeatherVids Autumn 2024 forecast. So we've gone through the spreadsheet. We've worked out which years are leading in terms of our forecast methodology. We've looked at how those years work out in terms of the reanalysis. And so all that's left to do, basically, is to give you our forecast. And it is another low confidence forecast due to the conflicting nature of the leading analogue years that we have there. But I think overall we're probably saying a rather drier autumn this year compared to some recent autumns. So having said that, there will be rain at times, of course, but I think September, October could have a more anti-cyclonic signal here. And, reasonable amount of dry weather at times as well. November, perhaps a little bit more unsettled. I think they have got a stronger signal for, like, a rather more Atlantic and therefore wetter pattern for November. So November might be a rather wetter month, but I think September and October could have quite a lot of high pressure actually coming and going. And temperatures are quite interesting with this. So there's no particular sign, despite the anticyclonic signal, September and October, there's no particular sign for any notably, extended hot weather through this autumn. Of course, high pressure in September can produce really quite high temperatures, and that is particularly so in the earlier part of the month. And there may actually be a rather cooler sign here for October. So temperature's a little bit complicated, but I think we probably say slightly milder than average. So average is slightly milder than average of the temperature for this autumn, but probably not excessively hot, famous last words. September shouldn't be as hot as it was last year, despite having that high pressure sort of signal. And I think we'll probably have quite a lot of dry weather, but there will be more unsettled interludes. I would suspect, like, September probably starts off with a lot of high pressure, a lot of warm and dry weather, and then maybe turns more unsettled later on as the month progresses. So it could be a month or two halves, dry and warm in the first half, perhaps a bit wetter and cooler in the second half. But even I would suspect the high pressure keeps trying to re-establish itself. So I reckon, like, September probably comes out as a drier month and slightly above average temperatures. A little bit uncertain how warm September gets. It could be another very warm September. Shouldn't be as hot as last year, but I think we probably come out with CT in the 14s for this September, but we shall see. Rather drier month. And then October again, probably a reasonably dryish sort of signal. Could be a bit colder though in October. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a cold snap at some point, maybe around the middle to second half of the month. We might get a few northerly interludes. If we do, then the temperature for October, the overall CT, likely to be close to average. I think, again, October probably a little bit on the drier side as well. And then November could start to unleash the Atlantic, and we might go into a rather milder, wetter pattern. So temperatures above average for November, I would suspect, and we come out rather wetter perhaps as well. And maybe a few storms coming along in November also. But quite a typical sort of average type autumn, really slightly above average temperatures, rather on the drier side though, which is a change from like last autumn, for example. No, a rather drier autumn and a little bit above average, but with plenty of variation. If there is a cold snap, it probably happens through the middle or second half of October. That's as much as I can do for you. So, it is a low confidence forecast. It's a bit of a stab in the dark. We'll see how it goes, and as ever, we will evaluate this forecast when we get to the beginning of December. Well, now the long-range bandwagon is moving on, and I know this is what you're all waiting for. Winter updates will be commencing from next week, from Sunday the 1st of September. We will be doing winter updates every week throughout the autumn, right to the end of November. We'll do a weekly winter update along with 3 season model roundups for the winter as well. So buckle up, brace yourself. The countdown to another winter begins at GavsWeatherVids next week. Thank you so much to Richard for our amazing autumn updates given thumbnail. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Rich. And thank you so much to Shryan. And also thank you so much to Terry. So Richard Short, Shryan Bruin, Tony Scully, hashtag Team Gav. Thank you so much for all of the help, not only with the autumn forecast, but also with the season of autumn updates as well. And hashtag Team Gav will be working on, well, I hope they will be working on the winter updates starting next week. We're going to be live at 6 p.m. So if you've got any questions about this autumn forecast, then please fire away and let me know. Let me know what you think about it all. And, so we'll end it there. That's the GavsWeatherVids autumn forecast for 2024. We'll see how it goes. This is a low confidence forecast, bit of a stab in the dark. So, we'll see how it works out. You enjoy the rest of your Sunday, or whenever you're watching this autumn forecast. And for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.